There's been a
Yeah,
sea
so-
change in music. There's the British invasion. Suddenly Elvis is uncool. He's
Yeah.
just not a cool bloke anymore. He's the guy making the
So
singing
how
to
old is he then? Is he late 30s?
So 68, you'd have been 33.
Okay.
Not yeah. So I mean, it was different in those days. I mean, 33 was seen as past it really.
Yeah.
And all these youngsters coming over across the Atlantic, and Stones and the Beatles and everybody else. And you're the man who sang to dogs and sang in your swimming shorts, and you're uncool. So then the Colonel again goes away, and they come up with the 68 comeback special, which is a Christmas show.
Mm-hmm.
But he wants to completely reinvent him again. So they comes out with let's make you sort of, he's back in the black leather. He's all in black leather with the hair slicked again. The sideburns are back. He's dangerous. He's bad. It just, there's another invention of him then, which then sort of led into the sort of, you could say the third period of his life was split into two, because then the live performances kicked back in after that, and he did a thing called That's the Way It Is, which is a massive documentary film. Then he did the one I talked about at the top there, Hello from Hawaii, which is the most watched.
That's one of the most famous. Yeah, I know
that's
that.
the one in the white suit with the eagle that everyone knows and everyone's seen.
Yes, yeah.
So that's
It's
a billion
like
people at the
culture,
time watch that,
isn't it? It's popular culture. You think of Hawaii, you think of Elvis.
Yeah, and that is that whenever anyone thinks of Elvis, certainly 70s Elvis, they think of that white jumpsuit with the cape.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, which was massive. But then the Colonel again gets him back on the grindstone, and he's signed into Vegas on long stints doing 2 shows. Imagine doing 2 shows a night with that sort of energy.
Yeah.
It's like when you do a stand-up show, but imagine doing 2-hour singing shows a night.
Yes. Yeah.
Every night, 6 nights a week.
And this is towards the end as well. So
this is through the 70s, really.
Okay.
And then it sort of transpires that a lot of that was because the Colonel was addicted to gambling, and he had deals with various casinos, and Elvis becomes like an indentured labor. And
I
remember reading a thing once where his doctor, or one of his doctors, and actually no, it was his hairdresser, sorry, a guy called Larry Geller, saying that he was in the room where Elvis had passed out with various prescription drugs, and the Colonel goes crazy, just get him in a bath of cold water. He's got to be on stage in 2 hours. He said the only thing that's important is that man is on stage in 2 hours' time.
Yeah, it's
it's hard, then, isn't it? Because there's no doubt
servitude.
There's no doubt that the Colonel hastened Elvis's death. I don't think that's particularly controversial to say, with all the medication he took and all the tours he was on and everything else. But if you'd have, I always think this, and it's the same with sports. If you'd have said to that skint kid in in Mississippi back in the day, in the 30s, early 40s, do you want to die at 42? Everyone will know who you are. And you will live like a king until you're 42. That's the option.
This is the ride that we can provide you. And they'll remember you, We all
got to go. They're still making films about Elvis. He died. I wrote a sitcom based on an Elvis tribute act 15 years ago when I first started doing comedy. Just wrote an idea. I took it to someone, they said, yeah, but Elvis still. No one cares about Elvis anymore. I was like, are you mad? And then Baz Luhrmann comes along 50 years after he died nearly, and that film's huge. And then they do a film about Priscilla, and that's huge. And then they do...
Of course, yeah.
But I just... a big part of me wonders what it'd be like if he was... You can't help but think that. Like, if you like Tupac and you think, what would he be doing now? Right?
Was it really him in Home Alone? Is that what you're thinking?
For years I thought... I think part of it is that you want it to be true.
Oh, yeah,
I wanted to believe that he was alive.
Yeah, I was the same. You just want it. You want, yeah.
And then his daughter married Michael Jackson. I thought, I'm pretty sure he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an odd one, wasn't it?
What a mad one.
Yeah, I mean, Michael was always, I love.
But also, when you listen to those two talk, it's quite sweet actually. She sort of said, Michael was one of the few people who could understand what my life was like.
Yes, of course, yeah.
And vice versa. If you think about Elvis and the Memphis Mafia, right? I say this to people when I defend, he paid all his mates, they're on the payroll. I said, well, yeah, he didn't apply, they didn't apply to become mates. They were his friends from the army and from security or from wherever they might have been from. But if you're Elvis Presley, you can't go anywhere without being besieged straight away, right? Yeah. So you have to go to the cinema when it's closed and opened up just for you. You have to go to the fun fair when it's shut and they'll open it for you. You have to entertain people in your house in private parties. But your mates then, they can't give up their job. They can't give up, have no income. So you just say, well, listen, Elvis, I want to spend time with you. I'll be my mate, but I got a wife and kids and a mortgage.
Yeah.
So then, okay, what have I got? Loads of money. What haven't I got? Mates and an opportunity to go out with my friend. So I'll just pay you. It's fine.
Yeah, it happens. It happens all the time, especially from.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Especially from poor backgrounds. You know, they're on the payroll, but this is part of spreading and putting people on, isn't it? Yeah. 100%.
Oh, they always knock it. Sports people get all the time. You know, you're sponging off your mate. They're not sponging off their mates. They're friends, right? If I was been multi-millionaire, I'd love to be able to say to my mates who work in their bollocks off, mate, leave that. Come and just hang out with me. I got loads of money. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right?
You can cut my toenails.
You know what I mean? Someone's got to do it. I can't reach.
Who wants the ass wiping job? Come on.
They'd be queuing up. You're joking. No, but it's a strange life to live, isn't it? You imagine that. You can't go outside the front door